Hello. I apologize for the delay for fire signs. Being out of town really kind of threw off. And as you know, if you watch the Earth Signs video, the lighting was really bad. So I waited until I got back in town before I decided to do fire signs. So these are oracle readings for the month of July, and I am going to start with Aries, then do Leo, and then do Sagittarius. They are general readings for the various signs, so they may or may not resonate with everyone. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. These are going to be general messages. I'm using a few new decks, so I may need to look some things up, particularly with the Archetypes deck, as I'm going. So be patient with me. But I will. Oh, and we've already got something for Aries. Learning. So Aries, there may be something. Excuse me. There may be something this month that you are doing or dealing with that you may need to. We have step back at the bottom of the deck. So you may need to be taking a step back, learning something, or you may learn something that requires you to take a step back this month. I'm going to go ahead and pull something from the Archetypes deck. Let's see. We have the Castle. We get anything else? Angels, spirits, guides, and the Pilgrim. So I haven't pulled either of those cards before, so we need to read about them. As well as at the base of the deck, we have the Orphan. And of course, Stella had done a really good job of being quiet up until this point, but she's going to get all crazy. So if you hear a crazy dog, that would be Stella. She just wants to be heard. Okay, so in terms of what you were learning this month, or what you may need to take a step back, information that may be coming to light. I'm going to start with the Castle, and go from there. I'm probably going to just read these to you. I find that's helpful for me as well as for you. So the Archetypes deck is about. So it's not a traditional tarot deck. It's an oracle deck. So the Castle. The palace, the penthouse, the fortress. It's no wonder fairy tales tell of sleeping princesses within the castle walls. Like most archetypes, the castle is loaded with duality. It represents abundant riches, seductive fantasy, ornate wonders, and lavish adornments. Yet the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. This card points to a tendency to hold on to possessions, quite possibly a literal home, or position that projects the image of achievement, while the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest, leaving it all behind. At times, we must settle down, yet the castle lulls us with its spell of materialism, and we fall asleep to our deepest dreams. The castle can be a motivating force, an enchanting goal to travel toward, but it is best not to linger within its walls of decadent deception for too long. So it may be that you're learning things about the walls that you've built and what that is restricting you from this month, particularly since we have the Pilgrim. And sorry, just a second. Stella, lay down. Lay down. And the Pilgrim is obviously going to be about traveling, is going to be about taking some time out to go on some sort of journey. And so that might be something that you have been considering. It may be something that you have been avoiding. So the Pilgrim, the wanderer, the traveler, the apprentice. For the Pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. Stella. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life, but the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. Yet when this archetype awakens, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door towards a new reality. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon, your spirit needs it. So it may be that part of your learning and growth this month has to do with travel. It may also be that you are just taking a step back to really examine what you value, what you have become attached to in terms of material possessions or senses of achievement that no longer serve you. It may be that the castle is starting to hold you back, even though it is a place of comfort, a place of what feels like success or achievement, that you have farther to go, that you have something else that you need to attend to really set your soul free. The orphan is the wounded child, the abandoned, the beggar. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. So it may be that you have rejected, you're really doing that deep dive into your own inner core, into what you really need at this time. And this is a message that's what your focus needs to be, Aries. That's what your focus needs to be in July. That, letting go of some of the safety and comfort that's available in the castle and those strong castle walls is going to give you the things that you really need to learn about yourself. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment the universe can truly get to work. So, sometimes we try to control things in our lives more than we should. We don't stay in the flow. We don't follow the signs and signals from the universe about what direction we should be moving or what is going to bring us to our highest good. And it may be that this month, surrender and letting go of what feels safe is going to bring you to the place that you most need to be. When I am connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. Very often we think that we need more than we do. We think that what we want is what we need, when sometimes it's exactly the opposite. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. I love this card because living in your own truth sometimes can be really scary, and we think that people won't value that or accept us. But I think that that is when we are being our most authentic selves. That is when we are also most attractive to others. That is when we are using our gifts to help others. When we are finding ways to connect to others in a truly authentic way. And because Aries is so straightforward and action oriented as a sign, it may be that that you you are really, you're really needing that adventure. You're needing to let go of the things that are not authentically you. We have lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. You know, when we take on this this adventure, this traveler, this pilgrim energy, inevitably change follows it. And that can very often lead us to paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, and enjoying each other. And this can be whether we are talking about our relationships with each other in terms of work, career, or in terms of interpersonal relationships, family, romantic love, friendship, those kinds of things as well. Sometimes being most authentically us is a transformation that is not easily accepted by the people who have known us the longest, but will be accepted by the people who are supposed to be in our lives at the time. We have acts, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. So, you may be taking a step back because you've been experiencing this already, or it may be that as you start moving in the direction that serves you best, there may be some people in your life that don't want to follow with you. The sword and the rose: clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. This is very much about finding your own truth, your own direction, and what will serve you the most in the future. And at the bottom of the deck, we have cassette: outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So if you've been going through some of that lately, or you may be going through some of that in the month of July, keep in mind that unfortunately, as we grow and evolve and move forward in our lives, not everyone can go with us. Not everyone stays along for the ride. Not everyone wants to grow with us, and unfortunately, that means that sometimes we leave others behind. So there's one last oracle deck that I'm going to use today. It's the Rebel deck, and this is an 18 and up channel. So this deck is a little bit saucy, a little bit salty sometimes, but I think it also has some great advice in it. So I'm going to go ahead and see what cards come out of this deck for you, and then move on to the next line. Okay, so we have make better fucking choices. If you are pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. So it may be time to move in a new direction. Some good shit is about to happen. Don't let your issues fuck it up. So, being orphaned, feeling a sense of abandonment can very often lead to a host of shadow energy that gets in our way. And so if you're in that state and that's what's, really pushing you forward to, on this new adventure, this sense of self-discovery this month, then, keep moving forward. Don't live in the past. You think someone is lying, they are. So if you have someone in your life that it's time to let go of, then go ahead and let go of them. That may not resonate for all, maybe just some of you. What the hell are you waiting for? Get that shit done. If you are waiting for a sign, well, here it fucking is. So if there's something that you've been waiting to move forward on, this is the month to do it. If there's something that you've been, a decision that you haven't been able to move, to make yet, because you've been unclear, or you were needing some sort of sign that, you were making the right decision, trust your intuition. A lot of the imagery here, both in terms of like the learning and the orphan, is about reaching out, centering yourself, paying attention to your third eye and your intuition, really thinking about and feeling about what direction you need to be going in your life as you move forward, Aries. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe. This is a new channel, so I'm trying to build it. I would appreciate your help with that. If you didn't think that this reading resonated with you, you may want to check out your different placements in your chart. If Aries is your sun sign, maybe look at your natal chart and check out the readings for your moon or rising or ascending sign, and see if those resonate more clearly for you. I will be doing other readings this month that may resonate more for you. Collective readings, there may be something in there for you, and there may be times when it doesn't resonate as much. Please come back and check the readings out in the future, and I appreciate your support. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to Leo and see what we have for Leo. I'm just reshuffling before I get started on this. I will be timestamping these videos. I didn't have a chance to do the ones, the earth and the air sign videos yet that I did while I was out of town. I'll be going back tonight and timestamping those as well to make it easier for you to locate your sign in these videos. So hopefully that is helpful for you. Give me just a moment to reset, and we will get started with your reading, Leo. I've been trying not to turn the fan on in this room because I didn't want the fan noise to interfere, but it is getting so warm in here. I might have to break down and do it. And it looks like maybe the dogs are asleep now, so we won't have as much interference with your reading, Leo, as we did with Aries. Okay, so angels, spirits, ancestors, guides, what messages does Leo need to hear for the month of July? What does Leo need to hear for the month of July? Messages for the collective, Leo, for the month of July. Here we go. Step back. So it may be time to take a step back and reassess things that you've had going on in your life. And it may also be a time for patience. What I really like about the imagery on this card is that, anytime you are putting down roots, anytime we're talking about family, notice all of the rabbits and, generational things, wanting to see the things come to fruition, right? That abundance that you've been looking for, wanting to see growth in those areas. It takes patience, and we are not always very patient about, getting to those points that we're striving for. And sometimes that means that we have to take a step back and reevaluate, reassess what, particularly for fire signs that are very dynamic, very bold and dominant, action-oriented signs. I think it's probably even more difficult for you to take a step back and kind of reassess where you've been, and obviously to have patience. So let's see what the archetype deck has for you this month, for the month of July. This is a new deck that I'm using, so I'm probably going to have to look these things up to read about them for you. The Siren. That's a beautiful card. Let's see what else comes out. So have a little patience with me. I'm still learning this deck. I think it's got some great things to offer though. The Temple, and then at the bottom of the deck we have the Shapeshifter. Okay, so I have not pulled any of these cards in this deck yet, so I'm going to have to look them all up. So just bear with me a little bit. So, Leos can be very, very outgoing, very dominant personalities, bold personalities, and that might be part of the reason that you've got this Shapeshifter card at the bottom of the deck. So the Shapeshifter is also the trickster, the elusive, the formless. The Shapeshifter has a love of theater, games, and trickery. Its energy appears as one thing, only to reveal a more complex story below the surface. The Shapeshifter is within all of us to some degree. It is the side of ourselves that is slippery, non-committal, and experimental, and longs to dismiss the rules. We need its energy to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of our existence. When the Shapeshifter card appears, it is important to imagine you are looking at life through a kaleidoscope rather than a single focused lens. At any moment, the scene may shift, revealing a more enchanting vision than you imagined. Be wary, though, as the allure of the kaleidoscope can leave you exhausted and yearning for solid ground. Dancing long-term with the Shapeshifter requires a central pillar of integrity that links us back to our center. So, it may be that this energy is just coming into your life in July, or it may be that that's part of the reason that you need to take a step back. If you've been living in this, ever shifting, non-committal energy for a while, it could be that you may need to start making some decisions in the month of July. And that's what the step back is about. We also have the Siren, the Temptress, the Seducer, the Femme Fatale. The Siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters, and the work of the Siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, down, down to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. So what I find really interesting about these two cards is that they both mentioned tying yourself to excuse me, tying yourself to a stable foundation and center. And I think that because as a fire sign, you are so dramatic and playful, and that those things, you're very action oriented. You might sometimes lose your center, and while both of these things can be really positive influences, those things paired with the step back and the patience card tell me that it may be time to reassess where, kind of recenter yourself, reground yourself in what is truly you, truly where you want to go and what you want to achieve. I think these things may have been a bit of a distraction for you lately, and July may be a time to start recentering yourself as you move forward. The temple is the sanctuary, the shrine, and the altar. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far-off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensuously kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on your altar for something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens. So, once again, I think all of these things are about finding a way to ground yourself this month, and focus on what you find sacred, what really serves your highest good. Are there things that you need to release? Are there things that you need to reevaluate, that you need to step back? I choose to learn through love. Step back and reassess how you present to the world, or how certain aspects of your life have sent you down rabbit holes and moved you off the path towards what is most, what's the word I'm looking for? Most effective. That's not right. Most intrinsically you, the path that you're supposed to be on. Have you gotten sidetracked? Are you on some sort of side quest? I'm not even a gamer, but I know that term. Are you on some sort of side quest that has distracted you from your ultimate goal? In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So whatever you've been focused on lately could be a distraction, could be something that has moved you away from your purpose and your higher good. Joy is the ultimate creator. Energy flows where my intention goes. And I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. So by really focusing, and maybe that person that you're seeing for the first time with the eyes of love is not another person, but yourself. Maybe you also need to have patience with yourself this month as you step back and reevaluate where things have maybe gone a bit awry for you, Leo. It could be that that you've been shape-shifting too much and you've lost track of yourself. It could be that there have been, outside influences with the Siren card that have also pulled you away from yourself, from your center, and led you, I don't want to say astray, but led you away from where you want to be, where you need to be. It could be that these influences are not necessarily things that you need to abandon completely, but that you need to shift your focus to be more intentional. Date. Meeting someone new, dating, getting back out there, plan or set a date. There may be new people coming into your life, and you need to decide how much of your time and energy you're going to invest in those people. Self-indulgence. Focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. So, it could be that you've been focusing on others too much in the recent past, and this month is all about you. This is the month where you need to kind of practice a little self-care, and not just in terms of bubble baths, but also in terms of meditation and eating healthy, spending time with people who really push you in healthy ways towards the best version of yourself. Particularly if there are people who tend to be distractions for you, maybe this month isn't the month to spend as much time with those people. Let's see if we have any other messages for Leo for the month of July. Leo for the month of July. Anything else? There we go. Love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. So that goes right along with that date energy. Cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. If this is a place that you've been in, this is only going to block any new energy that is coming in. And that might be part of the reason why you need to take a step back. We also have Cupid's arrow. Have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation or meeting, hesitation. You may be hesitating to move forward with this new energy. And we also have the Phoenix, a new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, a changed mind. So once again, your energy flows where your intention goes. So if you want to rise from the ashes, if you've been in a place of difficulty, if you're coming out of a difficult relationship or you've been healing from something difficult, don't let the shadow of the past get in the way of the future. And at the base of the deck here, we also have wedding rings, a union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, and everlasting promise. This doesn't necessarily, if you're not in a relationship, this doesn't necessarily only mean a union, like a romantic union. It could also refer to a union in terms of your career, like a partnership, a business partnership, or something of that nature as well. It could also be a really strong soul connection for a friendship. This last deck that I'm going to use for some final messages for you, Leo, is the Rebel Oracle. This is an 18 and up channel. This is a saucy little deck. It's got some language in it, if you will. So hopefully you're not offended. I like some of the messages that come along with it. So fucking apologize. Seriously, just do it. If there's something that you've been holding back about apologizing for, then go ahead and do that. Let that go and move forward. If you've been waiting for someone else, if you've been patiently waiting for somebody else to apologize, sometimes it's better just to go ahead and get it over with, so that you can release. Forgiveness is just as much about you as it is about the other person, so that you can release that energy. Put the fucking phone down. Too much screen time is making you awkward and sad. Go talk to a live person. So, this could be in relationship to this date energy. Let's see. We also have, it's not everyone else's fault. It's yours. You are a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others for your shit. So if you have been easily distracted lately, if you have felt like you're not getting to where you want to be, yes, other people can be distractions, but you also allow them to be the distraction. Love. Give some, get some. It will cheer your ass up. So, and that's about, self-love as well. And you are being shady. Watch out. Shit could get ugly. So once again, always remember karmic rules. What you put out is what you get back. So if you're being shady, stop. If you're blaming others, then others are going to blame you. So keep that in mind as you move forward. Also keep in mind that you should have patience with yourself as well as other people. It's not easy to move on sometimes. It's not easy to recognize. Sometimes these things literally just take time and don't happen overnight. So during the month of July, as you're taking a step back and re-examining what is truly important to you, what you want to invest in, what brings you the most joy and brings you closer to where you want to be, make sure that you keep in mind that you should have patience with yourself as well as others. And keep on moving forward with grace for the situation, particularly if you've been dealing with some challenging times in the recent past. Have grace for yourself, have grace for others. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to Sagittarius now. What messages do we have for Sagittarius this month, for July, for the month of July? Messages for Sagittarius. Messages for Sagittarius. And I've just realized that I did not pre-shuffle all of these between, so I'll be shuffling as I go. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Angels, spirits, guides. What messages do we have for Sagittarius for the month of July? Messages for Sagittarius for the month of July. I'm going to shuffle again since nothing seems to want to come out. Messages for Sagittarius for the month of July. Angels, spirits, guides, ancestors. What messages do we have for Sagittarius for the month of July? We'll see what these are. Okay, so once again, we have learning, and we also have companionship. So you could be, let me show you this a little closer. Learning. I believe Aries also had that one. And companionship. This is very similar to the Three of Cups card in the tarot. Very joyful and celebratory. It could be that you're spending a lot of time with friends this month and really focusing on you know, that fellowship connection with other people. You may be learning about your companions. And at the base of the deck, we also have growth. So there's a lot of water energy here, Sagittarius. So you may want to keep that in mind as you move forward. You know, maybe tapping in a little bit more to your, you know, your emotions and your emotional side. You may be dealing with some water signs as well. This deck that I'm using here, the archetypes deck that I'm using here is a new deck, and I'm still learning it. So I'll probably have to read about whatever cards I pull, unless I happen to have pulled them before already. So bear with me a little bit as we do that. Okay, we have the Sword. What other messages do we have for Sagittarius for the month of July? Sagittarius for the month of July. Here we go. The Seed and the Stone. You're just getting all kinds of cards, Sagittarius. See how I can. Okay, and then at the base of the deck, we have the Gem. So I have pulled this one before. I can tell you that at the base of the deck, the Gem is about your innermost light. That generally, to get to your heart, to your soul, there is a tangled web that we have to kind of dig through, whether we're talking about ourselves, whether we're talking about another person, even when we're talking about a situation, but particularly in terms of finding what we really want, what really makes us happy, what brings us the most joy. Sometimes we have to kind of clear past the clutter along the way. So it may be that's where you're growing. That's what you're learning about this month. And that's where your focus is. And you may be doing that and having those revelations through your experiences with others. So I'm going to see if I can find information on the sword, the seed, and the stone, and tell you more about that. There's so many cards in this deck that that's starting to learn about them. It's just taking me a while. So please bear with me because I really like the deck a lot. I think it has a lot to offer. So the sword. Here we go. The knife, the blade, the weapon. To use the sword is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. The choice is made and all else falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift, and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth, when the cord we share with the mother is cut. This moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourself. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our life, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. So the sword and decision making is about growth. It's really interesting. And obviously, as we move into the seed and the stone, the seed is definitely going to be about growth. So I think that, as you're moving forward this month, this is obviously going to be, July is obviously going to be a month of growth and learning for you. The seed, the beginning, the origin, the pearl. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. I don't know why that's so difficult for me to say. A beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. So this is definitely a month of growth for you, of discovering and learning. And like the seed, you already have within you everything that you need to become to reach your highest good, to become the person that you want to be, to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. That you just need to do a little bit of work to dig down deep and discover what those qualities, resources, characteristics of yourself, what those gifts are that you have to offer to make that seed grow, to make the choices that you need to separate the wheat from the chaff, if you will. And we also have the stone, the eternal, the anchor, the rock. As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go. Therefore, it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used to anchor our wild side, so no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to the earth, helping to ground and connect us to stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy of our world. What I find really interesting about the appearance of these cards together is that the stone is also the gem. hence a gemstone, that what really tethers us to the universe, to the world, is the same thing that tethers us to ourselves. And it may be that you are learning and discovering over the course of this month more about yourself in order to make those decisions that really help you to achieve the growth that you need to achieve over the course of July, Sagittarius. Sagittarius can be very philosophical, can be very free-spirited, and adventurous. And it may be that this month is about taking some time out to become more grounded and rooted, maybe with family and friends, to help you make those decisions, get in touch with, your deepest self. That those relationships are going to help you as a fire sign get a little bit more in touch with your emotions, that water energy that is present here, as well as that grounding, that earth energy that is present as well. You've also got air with the sword. Swords and tarot are air energy as well. So you may just need to be getting in touch with the other elements in your chart. You may want to look at where your other placements in your natal chart are. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. This card keeps coming out here lately. I love it. I think it's great. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I am here to get closer to love. So, once again, very profound for a philosophical Sagittarius. What other messages do we have for Sagittarius for the month of July? Messages for Sagittarius for the month of July. Is there anything in particular that Sagittarius needs to be focused on? Okay, how many cards is this? 5. Well, I'll give them all to you. I'm probably not going to talk at length about any of them. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. So, that goes hand in hand with this companionship. You may have someone that you've had some sort of falling out with, that you're just trying to make a decision about whether or not to keep in your life. Energy flows where my intention goes. And I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. Growth is very often very uncomfortable. I talk to my students a lot about this as well, in terms of, learning being a state of vulnerability, and that is not a comfortable state to be in. And we kind of just have to accept that if we really want to learn and grow. And so I think that that's an incredibly interesting card for this month. You may need to become a little bit more comfortable in being amid discomfort. I am the loving energy of the universe. We all are part of the loving energy of the universe. That is how we are all connected. And the stone also kind of reiterated how we are all connected. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. So there may have been things that you have been avoiding being conscious about making really conscious decisions about. And that may be some of the growth and learning that you're going through this month, Sagittarius. Those may be some of the things that you're dealing with this month in terms of trying to learn and trying to get to the heart of yourself, becoming more conscious of what your needs are to be fulfilled. Not enough. Feel frustrated in a relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear and ego issues, and jealousy. So, those, any relationship that is making you feel like you're not enough might be something that you want to cut a tie to in the month of July. Because as the gem tells us, we have everything within ourselves. We are enough to be who we were born to be. So if you're feeling a lack of confidence, I would say either you need to ask yourself why, what within yourself is making you feel that way, or is it the actions of another person that are making you feel that way? Date, meeting someone new, dating, getting back out there. Plan, set a date. It may be that this not enough energy is from a past relationship and there is a new relationship coming into your life. That not enough energy doesn't just happen in our romantic relationships, but also can happen in work career relationships. So you may want to think about, how you can grow and learn in order to advance in your career, particularly if the career situation that you find yourself in leaves you feeling a sense of lack or that they do not value you. Love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. So obviously practicing self-love through this month is going to allow you to become much more connected to what is going to help you grow the most, what is going to help you achieve your highest good, if you will. We also have soulmates, a soul connection, partnership, agreement, or soul contract. This could be romantic. It could also be a friendship or a business partnership as well. And girl with a snake. Empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, and enable your boundaries. So this is where the sword comes in. If you are feeling that you are, being taken for granted, if you are feeling drained in the company of certain people, then it may be time to distance yourself or cut the cord of those relationships. And then we have cassette. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Anytime you're doing that, you are most likely, well, first of all, we can't change the past, right? So it could be that you are failing to see the potential in the present because you are so past focused. It could also be that you are blocking positive things from coming into your life because you haven't let go of the past or are failing to move forward and take opportunities as they present themselves. So keep that in mind this month as you move forward, Sagittarius. Okay. So this last deck that cards have already fallen out of is the Rebel Oracle, which I really like because it's kind of salty and sassy. This is an 18 and up channel, so it does have some language. You got a feeling you just can't shake. That little voice inside you, listen to that shit. Trust your intuition. Listen to that inner voice inside your head. You need some fucking yoga in your life. Ancient shit is cool. So you may be feeling tense. You may be physically feeling constrained, almost like like a snake that needs to shed its skin to continue to grow, or I believe spiders also shed their skins. Anything that has an exoskeleton, like at some point or another, that exoskeleton becomes too confining and growth is no longer possible. It may be time to really work your body as well, stretch, do those things that are going to help you grow physically as well as mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Take a shot. Don't take 12, take 1. Okay, maybe 2, and then move on. So if there's something that you have been finding really frustrating, blow off a little steam. Go out with some friends. Maybe don't get sloppy drunk. Shit is going down with your job. reevaluate, change your perspective, or fucking quit. So, like I said before, anything that is making you feel like you're not enough, and that can be your employment situation as well. And I'm not telling you to go out and quit your job. I'm saying you may want to consider looking at other options, or taking that opportunity that you weren't really sure about. Maybe there's more there than, dig into it a little bit more. Learn what it has to offer. You are going through some tough shit. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather up your tired ass and handle it. So that's what I have for you this month, Sagittarius. I hope that you appreciated this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I will be posting additional readings over the course of the month. Please comment if you found it useful, and I will see you guys later.